As coronavirus eats the profits of industries and hits hard on growth of the sector, many businesses are faced with the choice of either shutting down or finding resources to survive. Well, Joy Business will be engaging industry players in the forum, and we are asking, on the track to industrialization, will COVID-19 provide the catalyst for self-sufficiency? I have been speaking to Joy Business Assistant Editor ODELIA NTIAMOAH ahead of the event.
Industrialization roundtable is actually happening at Casapreco because, of course, we want to have industrialization conversation in an industrialized environment, and so that's why we're doing it at Casapreco. We're expecting to have the Deputy Minister for Trade and Industry. We're also having the CEO for the GIPC. We're also having West Africa's Group CEO for Blue Skies. We're also having an expert, a tax expert, to talk about the tax dynamics. If we want to be self-reliant and we'll be able to be self-sufficient, we need to be able to grant some tax holidays, and so that person will bring a perspective in relation to the tax regime. And then we'll also have a conversation with an inventor who's actually, through this COVID times and even before COVID times, has had a lot of inventions. I will also like to see during the conversation some places within the city that conversations will go on in relation to exactly what's happening in the markets. If you pick 10 items at random, will all of these items be items that are produced in Ghana? If not, why are we having this level of importation? We want to have all of that in the discussion. We'll be having a look at issues relating to the ease of doing business in Ghana, the business barometer that AGI has been releasing every time. Exactly what does government make of it? How do policymakers even consume this kind of information, and what steps have been taken towards self-sufficiency, especially during this COVID times? Will this actually be what we as a country will latch on to actually promote industrialization in the country? These are all conversations we'll be having tomorrow.
Okay. And I'm sure that you are engaging industry players ahead of this all-important conversation. What sentiments are you picking up?
What I'm picking from a lot of the people I've spoken with is generally an excitement to say that this is long overdue, to also say that, yes, perhaps having this 3-hour conversation on industrialization and really tabling issues will actually add some impetus to what we have already been actually pushing. For example, the cost of electricity, the CD volatility, issues also relating to raw materials. And so all of this put together brings some level of excitement, and for them, they see this as like a mouthpiece to actually speak for them when it comes to industrialization.
Yes, and we've been talking about producing domestically, and I guess it has become very important because of what we are seeing with the coronavirus pandemic.
That's true. That's true. If you remember, before we went on lockdown, India decided that they were not actually allowing any importation of drugs from India, certain drugs. And so that quickly set the pharmaceutical sector actually working. And also, everybody who was producing some level of sanitizers were not willing to export to other countries that were actually struggling. And so we're just wondering that we don't know what other triggers can be pulled in the future. And so why don't we prepare so that when those kinds of triggers are pulled, we are not caught pants down.
Okay. And so there's a ban on mass gatherings. So how is this going to play out? I mean, how are we going to have this conversation?
Okay, so we're having live equipment sent to some of our speakers from various locations, and then we're doing a highly social distancing discussion at the factory of Casa Preco, a huge factory where we will have, where we will see the real activities that are done in Casa Preco, for example. And so that's how a conversation is going to look like. People can send their questions or their various issues on Facebook, on Twitter, on any other social media platform, on our Joy Business handles on Facebook, on LinkedIn, and all the other social media platforms. We will read their messages, and then they can also send, if they want to send a video of how their companies have been ravaged or exactly how the COVID affects their businesses, they could also send that on WhatsApp on 0244 604224.
Okay, so it's going to be on radio, TV, and online.